Welcome back to all. Today we will going to discuss another part of immunology, that is antigen. So what is antigen? Antigen are any agent or compound that produce immunoresponse is called antigen. In other words, antigen are agent that capable of bind specifically to T cell receptor, that is TCR, or an antibody is called antigen. There is a distinct difference between antigen and immunogen. Antigen is simply the ability of a compound to bind an antibody or TCR is called antigen, and the properties is called as antigenicity. Whereas immunogen is any agent that capable to produce immunoresponse and the property is known as immunogenicity. There is a distinction between antigen and immunogen because there are many compounds which can bind to immunocompetent cell like TCR or antibody, but they do not capable to produce immunogen response. So they are simply antigen, but they are not immunogen. So in simple word, all the immunogens are antigen, but not all antigens are immunogen. There are certain requirements to become immunogen. First one is foreignness. Actually, adaptive immunosystem of our body only recognize foreign antigen, foreign substance. They cannot recognize self antigen. Actually adaptive immunoresponse are resistance to self antigen. So foreignness is primary important for immunogenicity. In order to produce immunoresponse, that agent must be foreign to the host. And next one is size. There is a certain size required for immunogenicity. There are various substances with low molecular weight cannot act as immunogen. For example, various protein like low molecular protein like insulin, oxytocin are not immunogenic. High molecular protein like albumin are anti-immunogen. So molecular weight is most important for immunogenicity. Then next one is chemical complexity. Certain degree of complexity of chemical required for immunogenicity. Homopolymers are low with no molecular weight are not immunogen. Carbohydrates are immunogenic only if they form a complex polysaccharide structure or a part of complex molecule such as glycoprotein. So chemical complexity also required for antigenicity. Next one is doses or route of administration. Insufficient dose of immunogen may not stimulate immunoresponse. Either the amount fails to activate enough amount of lymphocyte, or because such a dose renders the responding cell unresponsive. So doses of immunogen is important for immunogenicity. There is a need to administer a threshold amount of immunogen. Another important factor that determines immunogenicity is the route of administration, also important because it determines which organ and cell population will involve in response. There are various ways to administer immunogen, like intravenous into the vein, intradermal immunogen administration into the skin, subcutaneous here the immunogen administered beneath the skin, intramuscular into the muscle. Strongest response is subcutaneous because in this case antigen is processed a major antigen presenting cell known as Langerhans cells which are present beneath the skin. So this way of introduction immunogen is subcutaneous is provide most strongest response. Then what is haptens? Actually, haptens are incomplete immunogen. They cannot produce immunoresponse because of their low molecular weight and chemical simplicity. They are antigenic but not immunogenic. In order to produce immunoresponse, they are conjugated with high molecular weight carrier protein. When they are conjugated with protein, they produce immunoresponse. So, haptens are incomplete immunogen, but when they bind with some carrier protein, they produce immunoresponse. Then what is adjuvant? Adjuvant are any substance when mixed with an immunogen and injected with it enhances the immune response against that particular antigen. They help in immune response. They are used to boost the immune response in case of weak immunogen or when immunogens are available in small amount. It only enhances the immune response but does not provide immunogenicity. They only help to increase antigen response. A common example of adjuvant is aluminum potassium sulfate, that is alum. So in summary, antigens are any foreign substance that produce immunoresponse. There is a distinction between antigen and immunogen. All immunogens are antigen, but not all antigens are immunogen. Certain factors required for immunogenicity like foreignness, size, chemical complexity, high molecular weight, doses and route of administration. These are factors required for immunogenicity. Then what is haptens and adjuvant? Haptens are incomplete immunogen. Adjuvant help in immunogenicity. These are all about antigen in details. Thank you.